Well, what do we have here? A new episode of Scream Queens? All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! The Perverts Have Spoken! Yes, they have. It is episode 7, Oh, yes! Coming off after the whole review, or actually just commentary on the movies, the television show Scream Queens, I thought, today it's lucky number 7. I think I should dive into my movie collection and review something that's just absolutely batshit fucking crazy, just nuts. It's crazy. It's madness, and honestly, it's a guilty pleasure because you could watch the movie and go, this is horrible. This is terrible. I mean, it's ridiculous. The plot goes all over the place, and really, what good could anyone glean from this thing? And yeah, I watch it and I enjoy it. I'm going, wow, it's a sight to see. It's like watching a horrible train wreck, except without the death and yeah. Anyways, so what movie am I talking about? Well, if you haven't read the title, I'm talking about the movie Wicked City. Wicked City. Now, maybe you may notice that all of a sudden we've got like clips and stuff playing, and I'm in a corner here somewhere because I have gotten a program to, I guess you would say, transfer my DVDs to computer video that I can use on my wonderfully free video editing software. However, I might not have enough time to actually do that, so if you don't see that happen, you're just looking at my horribly ugly mug, and you're depressed and sad that I actually even mentioned things like that. However, one way or the other, something's going to be happening on your screen, right? So let's get on back to Wicked City. Wicked City is a Chinese movie based on a Japanese original video animation video, which is kind of redundant now that I think about it, but it could have been also based on a manga, but I didn't do research because God knows I don't have time for that right now, man. But still, so it's kind of avant-garde because it's the Chinese take on a Japanese thing. And so anyways, I once owned the VHS video of the Wicked City anime until it got stolen. Yes, I went to college, someone borrowed it and never gave it back. Sad face. Anyways, but here we go. Wicked City. What is it about? Well, basically, there are monsters out there who can disguise themselves as human beings. And they kind of live amongst us while secretly some of them are eating and drinking our blood and plotting to take over the world, while the others are trying to figure out a way to bridge the gap between humans and monsters so that we can live in harmony, have a sort of symbiotic relationship, a give and take, share the world, be friends, and everything. And of course, the one group of monsters thinks that's ridiculous because the humans are scum and they're weak and they're small and we're powerful monsters and we should be ruling them and eating them and fucking them and everything like that. So there's the basic premise there. There's also the humans who, well, are distrusting of the monsters because, they kill people and drink their blood and rape them and stuff like that. So they have a police squad there to stop the monsters. Though there are people in the squad that are sympathetic to monsters, and there should be maybe some reconciliation between the two and an end of the human versus monster war. So basically you've got the humans kind of conflicted and the monsters kind of conflicted. Well, we have this story where the head of the monsters that wants to reconcile with the humans is being attacked by the group of monsters that want to rule the world. They figure if they can topple him and take over his monster empire, then they can consolidate their power for the greater war against the humans, which they want to wage using a drug called happiness. At least 3/4 of the way through the movie, until they change their plan into just amassing power at a tower to send the world backwards in time so that men would de-evolve into apes so that the monsters could rule the primitive ape people. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, I know. You're like going, wait, what happened to the drug plan? No, we just decided to like not even tell anyone and just change it at the last second because apparently the third act of the film just, we couldn't think of anything else. You know, the drug thing kind of just wrote itself into a wall or something. I don't know. Which is funny because that drug is called happiness, but what happens is it makes you go, and if you stop, you basically burn up from the inside and become a smoking ash. I mean, it's really, really crazy. So there's the part of the monster squad who are the humans that are trying to protect the humans from monsters. There are two guys. One is a half-breed because his father had relations with a monster woman, and he was the result. And then there is the other guy, which it's really weird because he's kind of got monster-esque powers, but he's not really a monster or something like that, or maybe he is. Well, anyways, I guess he's still technically human because the other monsters refer to him as a human. Well, anyways, he kind of befriended this beautiful monster lady and used her as an informant, but he was starting to fall in love with her, so he decided to cut ties with her. Well, anyways, she ends up going to be with the head monster who is trying to make peace with the humans. So we've got that kind of like love story thing going on in there, and the whole like, I guess you would say racial overtones about monsters and humans and half monster human hybrids not belonging to anyone and or things like that. I don't know, but what really is at the heart of this movie is horribly bad cheesy special effects. Holy shit, they are horrible, and if you can see some of the clips I'm providing, they are just ridiculously bad, but some of them are just are kind of neat too. I mean, you have things like people's heads exploding and arms getting chopped off, and you got like Mr. Elastic, Mr. Fantastic stretchy arm stuff going on. It's really just a batshit insane crazy movie when you look at it and you're watching it. Like, you see the bad special effects, the horrible dialogue. It could be just a bad translation. The fact that the plot just goes nuts and it is just you almost hard to follow because of it. And in the end, like, you've got monsters surfing on airplanes fighting each other. I mean, my mind is exploded. It's just insane. It's freaking nuts. I mean, it's violent. I could say that, you know, head explosions are gory, but it's not overly bloody. But it's just an experience. And my goodness, for instance, I'm giving you my enjoyment factor for this movie, and that's 3 out of 5. It is enjoyable. I mean, it's not like super great, but it's still like one of those where you're just like, holy shit, like crack open a beer, get some popcorn, and just enjoy the freaking ride. But my overall impression, the final score, would be a 2 out of 5, because it is a bad movie, but it's an enjoyable bad. And sometimes, you know, bad movies can do that and not end up on my top or bottom 10 list because they're just boring and insufferable. But this one is one you can actually go through and watch. Oh, only one thing, though, that really got my enjoyment factor lower than it should, because this could have easily been a 4 on the enjoyment factor, is that they fucking tease the titties. Oh, there's this girl who's practically naked through the whole movie. And they you know, obscure, you know, shadows and stuff like that. And it's like, why? I mean, there was a scene like in a kind of strip club where you know, briefly see some tit. So, you know, you get a small part about that, but she's, why do you just tease me like that? Because you could have been even better, but whatever. I still enjoy it. It's a bad movie, but it's crazy and insane, and it's an experience in and of itself. And it's definitely different from the original Japanese anime. So, man, but whatever. That is, it's Wicked City. There you go. Some craziness. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this episode. And I'm going to think like, you know, the series is called The Perverts Have Spoken. And yeah, I have not really gone into the sleazy, depraved stuff yet. Which was funny because last year, oh my goodness, I threw out a lot of depraved stuff like, you know, calendar or centerfold girls and freaking, now I have a mental block. But whatever, anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about if you watched it last year. But anyways. Oh, The Devil's Honey. Yeah, that was... Well, anyways, I'm going to end it now because I want to make sure that maybe I can get the whole, like, video thing going. So, until then, people, you guys stay scary, internet.